Hi, everyone. I am dedicating today's vlog to Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Uh, Justice Ginsburg was a trailblazer. Though she was small, she is a giant for all of us. For women especially, there are so many aspects of our lives that we don't even realize unless we've actually paid attention that Justice Ginsburg was not only instrumental, but the reason why we are able to do what we do. And I think about how we make decisions on our everyday basis, and we, especially women, are able to make certain decisions because of Justice Ginsburg. And oftentimes, I think that when we're trying to go forward in our lives, in our professional lives, in our personal lives, there could be a tendency to think, why? Why am I doing this? Why am I fighting so hard? Why am I trying and working so hard? Like, what's the point, right? And Justice Ginsburg worked till the day she passed. She was an incessant, committed, dedicated woman who fought for what she believed was right, for the right thing to do. So when I was living in New York, I was able to sign a lease in my own name without a male guarantor, husband, brother, father, because of Justice Ginsburg. I was able to open a bank account when I first got to college because of Justice Ginsburg. I was able to be employed at Morgan Stanley without consideration of my gender because of Justice Ginsburg. If I had had a child when I was working at the county attorney's office here in Miami, I would have been able to continue to work without discrimination because of Justice Ginsburg. We as women owe so much to Justice Ginsburg, and in turn, the men in our lives, our fathers, our brothers, our husbands, our sons, our friends, our colleagues, also owe it to her because we are all raised by, born by women, have women in our lives that continue to empower us. And as I think about the decisions that we're making daily and how we continue to move forward in our lives, I want to honor Justice Ginsburg in how she led her life. She never let anybody tell her no. She was not intimidated by others or forced down to think in a certain way. When somebody said it can't be done this way, she said no, and she found a way to get it done or found a way to argue otherwise. She wasn't scared to be the only woman in the room, to be the only woman arguing something that had never been argued in front of a male judge, and convinced him years, decades ago, so that we as women now can have liberties and freedoms that we don't even realize weren't available when we were way before we were born. So rest in peace, Justice Ginsburg. You have inspired me, empowered me. I was lucky enough to have Justice Ginsburg's daughter as my first law professor on my first day of law school at Columbia. And I know how much Justice Ginsburg had meant to Professor Ginsburg and to the rest of the Columbia Law School community. She, one of my best friends from law school, clerked for Justice Ginsburg. And I know, Nick, if you're listening to this, I know how much she meant to you when she officiated your wedding. Justice Ginsburg was a human being, a loving mother and grandmother and mentor to so many, and such a role model for all of us. So we honor you, Justice Ginsburg. We will continue your fight and we won't stop. And hopefully we can also continue to and start creating ourselves as role models for our children and their children to come.